Hi, good morning. This is JAIKAR here with Rahul, who actually is a great chess fan who drove a cycle right from Belgaum to Chennai and been here for a couple of days. And he's come here to celebrate the victory of Bukesh being crowned the world champion. Apparently, Bukesh fulfilled his dream. We're going to talk something about the game and a lot more things. I would like to first congratulate Bukesh, a brilliant performance. Right. I wish Gukesh a long journey as a world champion, and I hope that he beats Anand's record of 5 world championships by an Indian. Also, there are others who have 6 world championship titles. I hope that he continues his long journey, has it in him to keep continuing doing what he's doing right now. So that would ideally summarize my take on this world championship cycle. Hope we see him play again against another worthy opponent and keep winning. So this is basically about it. But when you look at what it took, a guy who was young, a lot of love for the game, passion, at 10 years or 11 years, dreaming about being the youngest world champion, becoming the youngest grandmaster, becoming the youngest challenger, becoming the youngest candidate, becoming the youngest challenger, ending up being the youngest world champion. It took a huge amount of sacrifice, not only from him, but his parents and near and dear ones, which I think we have heard a lot of things, but I would still say that somebody who had a huge dedication, who had enough in him to work hard and not waver because of distractions and other stuff. The great thing I look at him and with all the other players kind of is that until he became a grandmaster or until he became a 2500, he never used engines in the sense like how kids use. I go to a tournament, I see kids losing a game, coming and immediately putting the whole game on an engine and saying I should have played some move which would have won. And I ask them why is that move winning. Most of them have no clue. They say I checked on the engine and engine says. Okay. So the idea is that you should get your fundamentals right. At every stage, there are a lot of things which you should have known or which you should know. Work hard, do a lot of puzzles, do tactics. Everybody does tactics, but learn your end games. Kids are a little lazy learning end games. I would say because when you ask them why don't you learn, they say, "Sir, most of my game ends in the middle game. So why should I?" But they don't understand that as you become a strong player, as you go up in the ladder, most games do not end in the middle game. It usually goes on till the end game, and at that point, learning fundamental end games or simple things which ideally you should have known when you're 1400 or 1800 is not there. Then it becomes hard to learn all of that. And I see a lot of kids at that range finding it hard leaving chess even though they have a huge talent. So my advice would be read a lot of books. Chess books are a great treasure. Engines are fine, but I don't depend on engines because we can never think like an engine. Still, until you get to a level where your understanding of chess is phenomenal, I would personally advise kids not to use engines. Come back, put it on the board, look at all possible moves. So the whole thing happens this way. So you learn your end games, you learn your middle games, understand positions, trying to evaluate, self-assess. You have to do it throughout, during the game, after the game, and preparation. All of this are part of being a champion. Worked with a lot of them who have become IMs, GMs in their career and been happy to be part of their chess growing career. So, and I've seen the amount of hard work they do, amount of uh, the energy they put in, and the way they love the game. Okay. You should enjoy every game you play. Don't go by results. Don't look at ratings. Ratings are only numbers which tell you how good you played in the last whatever. Take this world championship. Gukesh has lost few rating points, but he still ended up as a world champion. If he was only bothered about his ratings, it would have been a different story altogether. So ratings are only will ideally tell you how good have you been playing over a period of time. So if you take the last 3 months, you played 3 tournaments, it will ideally tell you where you need to work on and all those stuff. So don't give so much importance to ratings. Ratings are important, but it does not end or start and end at how much points you get or not. It is at how good you played a game, how you like playing the game. Results. Bukesh yesterday's Ding played an excellent game. It was just one bad move and the world championship got decided. So it happens to every level at every player. So don't put too much pressure on yourself for blundering and losing all those stuff. So this would be my uh, take on what it requires to become a champion. The other important thing I'll tell you is work on your end games. Everything, right from your king and pawn, like playing with one pawn, playing with two, two against one, double pawn, isolated pawn, outside pass pawn, block pawn, different structures, different positions. Try to work on them. Try to work on your knight endings. Try to work on your bishop endings. All those imbalances over the board. Learn how to defend the position. Very, very important. I see all kids, or I would say most of them, are being trained to look at tactics on how to win the piece, how to do all of those stuff. But if you are down a material or if you are having a bad position, how do you get out of it is something which you need to learn as you go along. So as much as attacking chess is important, chess defense is also a very, 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 very important. And the best players or the best champions of the world have all been great defenders, right from Petrosian to Capablanca to Anand, our own Anand. Great. You look at Anand's games, you will find different modes means to understand how to defend a bad position. King of Fortress, I would say. Still remember the beautiful stalemate which he did in his first candidate match against Brave in Chennai in the mid 80s. I hope everybody looks at that game to get an inspiration on what Anand did when he was as young as Mukesh is today. And that's understanding. So I would want you to do that. Understand positional games, positional structures. Learning opening is very important. I'm not saying it's not, but learning other things along with the opening makes it a complete package. So only if you have a complete package, you can sustain at every level as you keep growing. At 1200, 1400 or 1400, 1800, you will need to know a lot of things. But when you reach 1800, you need to know much more. And once you cross 2000, it's a complete different ballgame. If you do not have the fundamentals, then upgrading yourself when you reach 2000 is going to be very, 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 very hard. So I would say use your trainers, coaches, get yourself fully equipped, learn, work hard, do your puzzles, do your end games. Do not forget whatever you learn. So make sure that you know your positions, you know your patterns, know your board, know your games. Remember all your games. That's most important. Every game you play is a learning success only if you can remember. When I was young, long, long ago, right, there was not much of material. You would be surprised to know that I have fallen into 27 opening traps during my playing career. And I remember all 27 of them even today. So I know what you should do, what you should not do. Learned it the hard way, but still I can remember, I can put all those traps which I've fallen into. If you want me, I can do a kind of, that's how it is. So the more you learn from your mistakes, make sure you do not commit them again. And that can happen only if you understand structures, positions, patterns. For me, chess is all about patterns, recognizing patterns and knowing what to do in a pattern. If you are good at it, you become a champion. If you're not good at it, please make yourself good at it so that you also become champions. Champions are made only by hard work and not anything else. It doesn't come free. So that would be my advice to all of those who aspired to follow the the footsteps of the great champions like Anand or Pej or Prag or Nihal or whoever you're whoever you're a fan of. So I would put it that way. All of them had worked through a hard, rigorous 6 hours, 8 hours a day regiment, not playing too much of blitz or whatever, but working on their skills, developing skills, and looking at classic games. And that those are things which will make you a champion.